Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. Today we're going to talk about illnesses, curing yourself. What is it? Is it something that you have control over? Did you create it? Yes. All right, so I know this is going to be difficult for a lot of you because you don't want to believe that you brought illnesses on yourself because it makes no sense, right, to suffer. So this is really appropriate because right now I actually have some kind of a flu. Now, I feel great, but there's something in my lungs, and so I'm coughing. Other than that, I absolutely feel wonderful, which is a little odd. So what causes this? I want you to remember that you are a human being. We are in dense bodies on a dense planet. That is not going to go away until you transition into your light being, of which you are, that inhabits this body. We are humans, and we have to remember that this is a human experience and a journey that has specific meaning for each individual. Don't discount that. And everything that we go through and experience is our growth. In other words, you're bringing it on so you can break through whatever limitations you've created. All of them. So whether it's money or your health or relationships, if you're having issues in your life with anything, then that is what you must work on the most. It is not something that's just happening to you. It's what you're creating. This is very difficult for people to accept. And so I want to talk about that today because I never get sick. Well, never, right? I heal so quickly. If something happens to me, I can usually blow it out in 24 hours. I sort of feel it and then I get rid of it because my immune system is so high. Well, I've pushed myself really hard this last week. I've been nonstop on a vacation. I was, with friends out on the beach, and then I went from boom, boom, boom to all kinds of events. And I really have not taken care of myself physically like I usually do. Well, being exposed to other people out there and viruses and all that stuff, I caught something. So what's the message here? Slow down. You're not taking care of yourself, all right? And I know that. So I'm staying here. I'm taking good care of myself, eating right as I always do when I'm home, and getting back on track. And this is my body's way of saying things are out of balance right now. You're pushing yourself to a place where it's out of balance. That's all it is. That's all it is. Don't make anything out of this, in your head that, you're being punished or, what's wrong with me. Now, a lot of you are experiencing symptoms of the transition of the planet too. And so that seems weird because we are in dense bodies, and as your let's just say your frequency, your light being self starts to elevate and go to a higher frequency, this body has to adjust. Our DNA, there's no junk DNA. There's no such thing as junk DNA. They're finding that out. That DNA sitting there that's not used is starting to, boom, come into play. It's starting to be activated for those who are going to use it. Just like our brains, we don't use our brains. Well, if you believe in evolution, that makes no sense. Why would you have a huge part of a brain that's not being used? We would evolve into it, right? It's there because we're going to be using it if we choose. So once you remember, we have everything right here. You've got all of this magical DNA that could absolutely heal anything. You've got a brain that knows everything, that can memorize and be used way beyond what computers can do because we have intuition and other skills. So I want you to remember, you are equipped with all of this. You're physically equipped to do anything. Now, I'm going to answer a question, a viewer's question, because this is critical. She wrote me, and I didn't post it because she gave her email address. Guys, don't do that because then I can't post it, and a lot of times YouTube gets rid of it, pulls it away because it looks like you're trying to sell something. So I'll share with you. She told me that she has stage 2 breast cancer. She says, I know I somehow created this, made myself sick. Yay, taking responsibility because of her negative thinking, she said. So she knows she's a negative thinker and that created an illness. Of course it did. It's an imbalance. It's not our natural state of being. All right? So you're really ordering that. In other words, you're telling your body to go into the negative frequency. And so what's down there? Illness, something that may be very serious. So sometimes I call it the shot over the bow, right? You know, this is your first warning shot. All right, if you don't pull out of this and change your ways, it's going to be stage 3 and 4. All right, so just like with me, you know, okay, you got a little bit of a, you know, get your act together because you're pushing yourself to the limits, and this is not healthy on this planet in this way that we function, and that's all it is. So yes, we do have the power to perform miracles, but if you're not in that stage yet, work on where you are. So she says to me, can you please help me with this? I want to manifest a house that I own, and she listed some other things. Now, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know what my answer is going to be. Herein is the reason why you're in this situation. You think that I can do something for you. You are not empowering yourself. She still believes. She says she knows she made herself ill and she's negative, and then she thinks that I'm going to write her to her email, which I will not. I will not, because I'm answering you right here. You have the power to change it. You're thinking that I can do it. Right there tells me that you believe that you don't have the power to change anything and that you're not working on it. So if you know that you're sick, or you know that you're challenged with finances or relationships, if you're not changing those patterns and those thought patterns especially, then you're sending a message in your body that's going to lower frequency, that is out of balance, that creates illness, that creates pain and suffering and struggle. So again, I'm going to remind you guys that, you know, Buddha died, and don't quote me on this, but I read somewhere years ago that Buddha actually died of food poisoning. He ate tainted meat that was offered to him as he was traveling through the country. And this poor family gave him tainted meat, and he ate it and died. What? This guy could walk on water. He could levitate. What's up with that? It was his time to go. And guess what? He's in a human body. Christ died. All right? But they transcended death. There's no death to us, right? And they know that, so they don't fear death. But they're still humans in a human body. So, you know, you'll see people that do get ill. People do get ill and go through things because they may be pushing themselves into places that, you know, the body's warning them that they need to make some changes, that they're pushing themselves too hard. That's all it is. So if you have symptoms wherein you're going to be, you know, connecting it to transcending, you know, your higher frequency, you know you're in a higher frequency and you're experiencing some stuff, that's another message that your body's adjusting. It's not always a negative thing. It's just communicating with you. All right? So if you are going through transition, in other words, higher frequency body symptoms, then you must take care of yourself in a different way. In other words, you're going to have to change how you eat. You're going to have to maybe go vegetarian or even vegan. Give it a try. See, because we really don't even need food. You know that, don't you? I was told that. My channels, they told me, you actually don't need to eat. I do know some people that don't eat. But I'm not there yet, all right? But, you know, I'm going more vegan and more vegan. And it's a good thing. So you may have to clean up your act, what you're eating, you know, exercise, get in the sun more, you know, all these things that are going to be good for your body because you still are in a human body. But most of all, we know where it's really all coming from. It's coming from how you're thinking, all the actions you're taking. Somebody said, how do I stop being jealous of other people who have what I want? And I thought, boy, that's a tough one. Not being jealous of somebody who has something that you want. You're thinking of yourself as a separate person, right? When we start to look at each other as one energy and that person out there is just like you, That's just another energy expressing itself from the one energy of which we all come from. Just take your energy into the highest level you can. Get away from that negative thinking. By the way, I am creating 2 applications, apps, phone apps for you guys. One is for your frequency. I'm already in the middle of creating that. And the other one is for meditation. I want to also share with you, I will be doing webinars every month, training you. Some of you guys either can't afford my e-course or whatever. I'm going to have some mini training sessions that it's going to be probably less than $30. And we spend a couple hours together live every month. And I'm going to work with you on stuff. And it's going to be free to my e-course members. They're going to get to do that every month just with me. So I'm going to give you the tools, but it's really coming down to one thing, is get out of the negative thinking. Stop thinking you're limited. Go take my e-course. The first lesson is all probabilities exist for you. A healed, well body does. The other thing I want to share with my person who has stage 2 cancer, she wants to get rid of the cancer. Read Anita Morjani's book called Dying to Be Me. She had stage 4 and was given last rites and was in the last hour of her death. Passed over to the other side and was given a lot of information as to why she was so sick. Always giving and draining herself to a fault because she didn't value herself. Not because she's such a wonderful giver, but because she didn't value herself. She was always trying to please other people. Is that you? Right? Are you always putting yourself back because you don't believe you have that power? That's a negative force coming in where you're just draining yourself. You never truly give your energy away. There is an imbalance. That takes place, but it's more physical than anything because your true power is never diminished. You're just focusing it on different things, right? You're never diminished. No one can drain or take your energy away. You must give it. You are always the person in charge of giving it. So don't ever think some energy vampires, only if you're allowing it. You have that power to, boom, stop it in its tracks. It has no power over you. Nothing has power over you. All right? You are absolutely super powerful. Somebody wrote and they said, wow, this woman there's something about her. She has this power. Yeah, I do. I'm a Zen powerhouse. But guess what? You have the same power. I'm just using mine. Right? And I still get sick once every 5 years if I push myself. So again, remember you're in a human body. Don't be silly with this. Value it. And then when you get the warning signs or you get the illness or whatever, get things back in check. You can do it. How do we get well? We know how to get well. We eat right, we rest. It's that simple. So if you're getting an illness, what's out of whack? I could tell you right now, cancer is directly linked to anger and negativity. Directly, worrying. So I have a friend who had stage 1 cancer, who happens to be a worrywart. Happens to talk a lot about negative stuff, but doesn't hear herself do it. All right, I've got a few friends like that who've been sick. And I realized, holy cow, it's going to manifest itself. Well, I don't have all the answers about illnesses, but I'm going to tell you right now, we do have power over it. And we all have the ability to heal ourselves. That's a fact, all right? And if you don't believe that, that's okay too. It's your reality. In my reality, we all have the power to heal ourselves. And it says that in the Bible, and we've been told over and over, we have the ability to do all of this. Christ could not heal everybody. Why? They had to believe it and accept it themselves, and maybe it wasn't their path. Some people had to experience illness for whatever reason. They learned something from it. People like Lance Armstrong, no matter what you think about him, he said cancer was the biggest gift for him. It made him really appreciate life, and it changed him in many ways. A lot of people say that cancer was a huge gift for them. It really got them in check about, what they're doing with their life. And so I have to ask you, what is this message? What must you change? Because you cannot just go look for a miracle and continue to be angry or negative, or eat crap, or not take care of yourself, or expose yourself to a negative situation. All right? You know what's making you sick, and it's you. Because you are allowing certain things to happen in your life, and you're not either removing yourself, or you're handling or reacting to them in a negative way, or you're believing something that's negative. All right? So get it in check. All right? It is you. You don't email me and tell me, you need to help me. Need. We don't use the N word on here. It's not nice. Need is lack. Need stating lack. Landria has the power and I don't. I don't have the power to heal you. You do. And I can send you all the blessings and wishes I want and I desire, and I do. I send it to all of you watching this video. But you have to accept it. Not because I'm giving you power, because you're accepting the power that is within you. All right? So yes, you can heal yourself, but you must know where that's coming from in the first place. Otherwise, it will not go away. It's a message to you. It's communication at all times. And I just want you to know that you are unlimited. You're powerful beyond your imagination. When do we start to believe that? It's time. Are you going to transcend to the fifth dimension? It's happening. It's already been happening. I feel it. Things are changing in a big, big way. And all you have to do is clear out all the other doubts and all of the barriers to that open door. If you listen to my I Am Discourses by Saint Germain that I read, that door is always open. You can't shut it. You can block it all you want, but it's always open to you. That power is for everyone. Start using it. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend, for healing and miracles. Namaste.